Hello guys, welcome to the Raspberry Pi IoT session. So this is the second session. First session was the installation of Raspberry Pi with Raspbian operating system. So it's always better to study in sequential manner. So I used Etcher to upload the image and then flash it on the SD card, and then I put the SD card in the Raspberry Pi IoT device. So I am using 3B plus version, so that is the latest. So what should be your first task after installation? That is a big question. But your first task will be playing around the menu with Raspberry Pi. What are the different menus? So it's always better to connect using some SSH client to the system. So it's always good to use the laptop, or some people also use Android applications to connect to this Raspberry Pi device. So because I always use laptop, so I have downloaded SSH client, or if you are using Mac OS, you can directly use terminal. In Windows, you can install Putty to connect to this system. It's always convenient to use that. You can always sit here and you can work directly on Raspberry Pi also. So there are different menus here like accessories, help, preferences. So what I do is to connect from my laptop. So I need to give I have to enable some of the services like SSH, VNC. So VNC share, you can download VNC client in your laptop, and you can directly do a screen share with this Raspberry device. Because in my house I have kept this Raspberry Pi at different locations, so I always at my laptop and I connect from my laptop. Also, like from your Android terminal you can connect, but that is not that much convenient to use, because it's always good to type using keyboard and mouse. So enable SSH, enable VNC. Okay, others are, I enable everything to be in safer side. Camera is enabled, so we'll just play around with the menus and then say okay. I have already enabled it. This is your browser. You can do Facebook, Gmail, whatever you like. This is terminal. Just type ifconfig to know your IP address, because if you are connecting from your laptop, you should know the IP address of this. My username password already set at the installation time. Okay. Appearance setting, add remove software, main menu. So it's just like a normal Linux system. Ubuntu, if you have used Ubuntu, it will be very easy for you. So I have used. You might also check for the SSH service here, like if you are a Linux user, then you can just check the status of so it's running, SSH is running. If it is not running, you have to just restart, or maybe sometime it is not installed, then just Google it out. It's very easy to install. Sudo apt-get install SSH, just like Debian system and Ubuntu system. So SSH is running, because initially if you connect from your laptop to this Raspberry device, so for beginners it's always an issue, like they will face that problem of connecting from their laptop to this system. So they will be wondering like what is happening. But you have to be SSH server running here, because you are using SSH client in your laptop or in your mobile. So it's necessary that SSH server should be running and active here, so that you should be able to connect to this IP address. So from your laptop you can just use putty and enter this address, or from MacBook you can just do SSH. So this username is pi, password I have already set. So for example, if password is 1234, you can provide at the, if it is prompting. So SSH pi @ so this name currently you cannot give because this name is not known to your laptop. So you just give IP address pi @ 192.168.1.103, and anyways I am going to show you, and then you can connect to this system. So I'll try to connect to my Raspberry Pi device from here. So as I already told that I have found the IP address of Raspberry Pi device, and my Raspberry Pi device is connected to Wi-Fi. You can also connect with the LAN wire. So I have configured the command to find the IP address. So IP address you should know, and username of your Raspberry Pi device. So username was pi. You can set to any username during installation. You can set to test or whatever you want, but in your laptop you cannot give that username. For example, I have to give this IP address so that it will be found. So this IP address and pi is the username. SSH server is running there. This is SSH client. So I'm using from Mac. From Windows you can use putty, and you can give port number 22 where SSH is running. So I am connected to Raspberry Pi. So I'll just start playing with some programming language. So mostly Python is used, then C is used, and you can use other languages also like Java, web server, PHP. You're free to use because it's just like Linux machine. It's just similar to that. Only thing is like some difference in hardware where you are finding GPIO pins, which I will be explaining in the next session. This is the second session after the installation. So let's play with some Python program. So 2.7.3 version is there by default. I'll just say print hello. Oh, I'm able to print the result equal to 2 plus 3, print result 5. So I'm just playing around with Python program because this Python program is useful in camera project and also sensor project. So there will be different Python modules also for sensors like temperature sensor and your PIR sensor. So those modules are already there in this Python, only you have to use. So those modules will run only on your Raspberry Pi hardware. If you run normally on your Ubuntu, those will not run. So that is the difference, basic difference in the hardware. Everything is same, but only the hardware is different. But like your desktop computer, you can also use Python 3 here. Let's use Python 3. Python 3 print it's printed simple. C program, you just check the GCC is installed. You can just do some kind of programming test.c, include diu.h, main, print hello C, return 0, or basic you already know. So gcc test.c. So I have habituated to Python, that's why I have used print. So hello.
So C is also working, Python is also working. Now you are ready to do sensor program. That I'll explain in the next class. So for time being, I think that's enough for the second session. First session I'll come back with some sensor programs, sensor modules, and some of other Raspberry Pi settings, some specific to Raspberry Pi. So keep watching, subscribe, like and share to your friends so that they will also get the same knowledge. Thanks.